Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so this is a video. I'm going to ask you for some help for a friend of mine. A young lady in the Philippines. She has a little child. I think he's about 7 years old now. She's on another island away from her son, and she's in a bad situation in both sides of the fence, and I'll explain that. So she got a job where she's driving around in one of those little, I think it's a three-wheel thing, I'm not sure, but she does some kind of deliveries with her father. So what happened was she sent me a message, I think it was last night or the night before. She doesn't really know what happened, and I googled something, and so she told me that somehow she got hypnotized and they robbed her. So she says, I don't remember what happened, but next thing I know, they were gone. And I came, and she said I kind of woke up, and then she noticed her money thing she holds around her waist was stolen. Now this money is for the business, and she owes the business owner. He's not giving her breaks. He says, nope, the deal is you got to give me the money. There's no breaks. It doesn't matter. She did report it to the police, and there's something I googled that I found. There's a drug called scopolamine. I think it's scopolamine. It's also called the devil's breath. It's from some plant in Brazil or something like that. And apparently you blow it into someone's eyes or make them breathe it or something like that, and it completely like hypnotizes them. So I've seen police reports where it essentially makes them do whatever you want. Like they've gotten people to go to the bank and go to their ATM, get money out. You tell them what they do and they do it. Like they take off their jewelry, they hand it to you, and then you take off, and then they wake up or snap out of it. I don't know how long later, but they eventually wake up and realize what happened. So like I just looked online right now, and this guy had his entire bank account emptied, etc. And I don't know, he says I was in my home. Well, I'm not going to read it off, but there's just an article. It says went out for drinks and came back with all my accounts emptied. So essentially what these guys are doing, or people are doing, is they're either blowing this stuff in your face, it's a drug, or they're hypnotizing you. So that's another thing that's going around. People that are really, really good. Now, I don't even know how to do this. They hypnotize you, and you essentially hand your money over to them. So this is what happened to her. She's not sure what happened, and she's really freaking out right now. Now, she's in a bad situation all the way around. Her son, she has to leave at home with her family, and she is the scapegoat of the family, meaning her son gets the abuse now. So she's on another island. She can't protect him from her family, her mother, etc. It's a real bad situation. She's struggling. She makes the money. She sends it back to her family, etc. She's never asked for help like this. And if you guys could help out, I would really, really appreciate it. I was actually drugged 5 years ago. And when I came out of it, I was in a pure panic for quite a while, to be honest with you. And I drove home immediately. It completely freaked me out for a long time. It didn't just go away. So she's in this panic state. I know exactly what she's going through. On top of it, her boss is demanding, like he came in and interrogated her and asked her all these questions and showed zero compassion. So she's going through a real hard time. She did report the police. I told her to have the police talk to her boss, which he did, and the boss didn't care. He's like, nope, the responsibility is you got to give me the money. So the sad part about it is her father essentially just sat in the driver's seat in the truck while she was dealing with these two grown men. Now she's like 5 foot tall or 4'11". She's a tiny little thing. There's no reason for her father to let her deal with two grown men like that. So do you kind of get the picture? So I told her to pray that somehow we're going to figure this out. If there's a person that you've ever wanted to help, this is the one. She doesn't do drugs. She doesn't drink. She's a clean person. She's an empath. She's a sweetheart person. She's got a great heart. And life has been kicking her down since she was a little child. And she goes, I don't understand why I can't get a break. She's surrounded by narcissists right now. And I'm trying to find a way to make enough money to help her to get out of the area so she doesn't have to rely on her family. Because right now, the only place that she can leave her son is with her family. So the good news is it wasn't a ton of money. It was it was equal to 170 US dollars. So if you could donate 20, 35, 50 bucks, anything, it really, really would help. I'd really, really appreciate it. Here's the offer I'm going to make you. If you donate $35 or more, I will give you my book, Cracked Female Code, or for women, if you want, you can have the two women's book, Why Men Just Don't Get It, or Any Woman's Battle, The Need for Love and Emotional Fulfillment. Now, if you donate $75 or more, I'll even lower it down to $55 or more, I will give you one free phone session for about an hour. If you want to go a little bit more, hour and a half, that's fine. We can actually do a session, or if you want, we can just talk about narcissist abuse, or if you just want to talk, that's fine too, okay? So if you have questions, or if you need help with a situation or understanding whether it's emotional abuse or narcissist abuse, let me know. It would be a kind of nice way to get to know you. So essentially, this is a young lady who's working full time. She's making next to nothing. So what I've done is I've donated a little bit of money to her every month to make sure her and her kid have food. And so what I decided to do, instead of giving money away to homeless people, which I used to do quite a bit, I thought I'm going to take all this money and I'm going to send it to her. And this is going to be like, instead of sending 10% tithing to church, this is who I tithe to. She's worth it. She's a good person. She's lived a really, really tough life, and she's still in a very rough situation. For the most part, her and her dad actually live on the benches in the parks when they're working. When I send them a little extra money, they'll get a hotel room to, so they can clean up and stuff. So they're in a tough space. I wouldn't be asking, except she's really panicking right now, like really, really bad. I've never once have seen her this bad. She's had problems, but it's just really freaking her out because she has to pay it back, and she doesn't know how. She doesn't make enough money to pay that amount of money back. So here's how you do it. You don't have to send it me. You can send it through Western Union to Sheena Marie M. Nolasco. And that's to the Philippines. That's all they need to know. The third thing they need to know is just say to change it into Filipino peso. So her name spelling has to be exactly like that. Sheena Marie, and they have another initial M, Nolasco. And then send to me, because I don't know how else unless I get her email. I always talk to her through Facebook. So send to me it's going to be your full name that's you have registered with the Western Union. It has to be exactly the way they have it. And then let's see. You're going to have, there's a code, they call it a transaction code. It's going to be a series of numbers, and you can ask them, they'll usually point it out. And then it has to be the exact amount, preferably in the Filipino peso, and that'll be on the receipt. All three of those will be on the receipt they give you. So again, it's sender's name, which is your name, the exact name, and then you're going to get the transaction code and then the exact amount in the Filipino peso. And you can either contact me or send that to my email, mike@mikekollin.com. Another option, if it makes it easier for you to send money, you can send it to my PayPal link, which is right there in the description box beneath this video. I highly recommend you walk into a Western Union store because they can help you, or like at where I live in California, we have this grocery store called Safeway. I go to the help center there, and that's one of the things they do is Western Union. So when you work with a person, it's way easier. Going to those little machines like in Walgreens or those drugstores has never worked for me. I do not recommend that. Go to where you actually work with someone who knows how to do it. It'll be super easy if you do it that way. They do have an app that you can download onto your cell phone if you want to do it that way. I've never done it that way, but if you want, you can do that. If for some reason none of these options work for you, just get a hold of me at 415-747-8598. That is my landline. I don't usually give out my cell phone number, but for now, just call me at that number. We can work something out. Alright, that's it. God bless you guys. Thank you very much for any help, even if it's $5 or $10. Thank you guys very, very much. Alright, God bless you guys.